Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, November 7th. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and we are on Finding the Word. I forget the name of this gathering here. This is
Sharing.
Sharing the Word. Thank you very much, Rana. Uh, this is an open door. This is our regular Friday gathering where we're reading Paul Selig's channeling of the guides titled Resurrection, book one of the Manifestation Trilogy. So, yeah, usually we have a little video, but this morning we do not because our fearless leader, Cindy, is not with us this morning. So we're just going to start right in reading. And I would guess I'll ask if anyone would like to read this morning. Rick,
I have
take
a
it.
question. I just need to know what paragraph we're going to be on because I'm using Kindle.
Yes, we're on now. Each of you says yes at the level that you can. Did you find it? Who would like to read this morning? Okay, Lonnie and Olivia, Patricia. I'm happy to read as well. Okay, all right.
I can read as well.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much. All right, so for those who have joined us late, we are on page 62 at the bottom of the page, beginning with the last paragraph. Now each of you says yes. So, Lonnie, would you like to take it away?
Sure. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now, each of you says yes at the level that you can. Please understand, friends, this is not the tortoise and the hare racing to the finish line. This is the life you live in its unfoldment. And the life you live, your teacher, yes, will now unfold in a new claim. I have chosen to know myself as what I truly am. The agreement in this claim is that what you already are is what has been chosen, and you are not trying to manufacture or recreate from an idea of self that you would utilize as yet another mask to perform through. Those who wear the enlightenment mask, look at me, I will have the answers, are hiding from the light. Those who know the answers share them freely by their expression. Now, by freely, we mean they simply be, and the tone of their field is its own invocation, and what it encounters is itself.
Mm.
It kind of feels like the horn I've been blowing and blowing and blowing too, as I've been doing this walk. Should I go on?
Yeah, I just wonder if anyone has any thoughts about how it feels to live um, in this new way. And I ask that because it it seems to me through what William says, what Indigo says, what Lonnie, what we're all saying, all of us, is that we're living in the moment with what is, as life flows through us. And it's the changes that I perceive or that are being perceived are in some ways very subtle and in some ways really profound. And it's hard for me to put words to them, which is partly why I'm bringing it up because I think some of you might be able to articulate it in ways that would be helpful. So that's the only reason I brought that up. Otherwise, I'm happy to move on. Rana and then William and then Lonnie. So Rana, good morning.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, everyone. I'm really drawn to the word mask. That is something that I discovered, early on, that I had been wearing masks my whole life, like kind of like a chameleon. Whatever group I was with, I would adapt to that somehow. And then all their likes and all their dislikes became mine. It was just, and I see today how that is just a mode of conditioning. You know what I mean? It's a mode to fit in because I feel so separate and alone and afraid, right? So if I do what they're doing, then they'll accept me and I'll be part of something because this humanness feels so separate. And so the invitation here is not to don another mask. Now I'm the aware Rana. It goes back to that. I'm not trying to make a better Rana. And the other thing that really hit me here is it's talking about that it's the journey. We're not going for some arrival destination point, and I love this sentence. And the life you live, your teacher. It's saying my life is the teacher,
That's right.
will now unfold in a new claim. And it's instead of donning another mask, try to remember to just be my true self in any given circumstance as it unfolds, right? Lord, may I help me remember to be my true self in whatever circumstance I find myself in. Am I looking from it or am I looking at it? Where is the identification about what's going on here? And I don't have to wear a mask anymore. There's just this intrinsic knowing now that the way that this being shows up with all its little idiosyncrasies is fine. It's good. It's well liked. It's loved, and I do fit in. And so the invitation for me today is to look for any masks, to just see them when they arise,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great explanation. William, you're up next.
Well, that word invocation, I looked it up now, but before I get to that, even it said, my or do I own this invitation to be and talk about masks? Which mask? Wow, there's so many of them, and they all belong to somebody that made up this game, this story. My goodness, my goodness. But invocation is the action of invoking something or someone, or like in name of an authority. See, I believe that really I've never really owned or claimed the authority. I don't even know who I am, so how in the hell could I say I'm this or that? So I see that as all just an exploration. I'm so resistant to actually claiming the truth of who I am. And yet, as I say that, I feel like I'm already doing it. And so I'm always, it's like I'm ahead of me and I'm behind me, and then I'm me. And me is not even so it's just this sliding back and forth in the air of now. And I just when all else fails, go home. Just I gotta be now, gotta be now. That's the only thing I can even imagine. It makes so much sense. The now, whatever the hell that means, but that's it. That's the shining light that keeps attracting me. It draws me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lonnie. And then Patricia.
I realized that my masks, I was a master of masks. And I realized that my masks were from agreements very early on about what was necessary for safety. And so the mask went on immediately into each situation to be exactly what whoever was there needed me to be to keep me out of the limelight, to keep me safe where I was. There was a time when I would talk about that as if it was a problem, and I said, and now recognizing the gift that it was for the child that was living in the environment that she was living in. The greater gift was when I realized I didn't need the masks anymore. And really, that was about not giving a shit about what anybody thought I was supposed to be, do, or say. Came from having a mother telling me that I had no tact and I was supposed to be nice, and me telling her I never guaranteed niceness, so you have no right to expect it. That was that tactless person that she kept meeting. But really, it was me just claiming my right to be and to not be for somebody else's comfort. And that's been, if we want to call it a climb, I know that's been the expansion probably of the last year is regaining my sovereignty,
Mm.
regaining my sovereignty and learning to be, just be, whatever that looks like.
Mm. Thank you. Yeah. Such freedom in that. Right. Yeah. Patricia, good morning. You got to unmute, my dear. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Good morning, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good morning to all of you. What wonderful people you are. I'm blessed to be here with you. Thank you. I was just thinking about masks. Yes. All the years. What do I need to do in order to be accepted and liked? Yes. But in the present time, I realize it's true. I'm in Mexico. I'm living in Mexico. I don't have many friends, so that when I go out with people, I notice that I am still, what do you want me to be or need me to be? So we have the potential to be friends. And I'm finding that if I can just be present in the now, right now, with whomever I'm with, if I'm present, I don't know, that goes away. It's just, it just goes away. I don't need to put a mask on because it's in the now. I'm meeting someone whom I don't really like because she's very judgmental today. Well, what happens if I either accept that's who she is or change the subject when she's being judgmental? Both are possible. Or even to name it, I don't know. That feels critical. I will see. I will report later. But again, I think the important part is just coming back to the present moment, because in the present moment, it's neither good nor bad. It just is. So it's living in that isness. Thank you.
Thank you. Boy, William is really, he's really pulling us into the now, isn't he? So I love the way each of us is a teacher of some unique quality. And that's William's unique quality. And Indigo has her own unique quality, and Rana has hers, and Richard has his. Lonnie, everybody has their own sort of just flavor, fragrance of teaching.
Can can I just echo something there? I just wrote down, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to be me. All I got is now.
I think Richard probably loves that one. I do too. I might use a different word.
I do. I love that. I think being authentic self, which means you have to be very honest with yourself. If you're a shitstorm, you're a shitstorm. And being a holy ego will not help you get out of the shitstorm. You have to really face your shit and go, okay, this is where I am today. can I be better tomorrow? And then let yourself be. Be authentic. When you screw up, you screw up. When you don't, you don't. Pat yourself on the back when you're not. And when you are, love yourself even more. So I love it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so true. Oh, so see what one paragraph can do? It's amazing. Ron, you're up next.
Well, when you were trying to find a word, I went right back to the sentence. Those who know the answers share them freely by their expression. You know, like we're each an expression of the infinite possibility. And then when we start talking about making mistakes and screw up, you know, I was in a group, they were reading some Rupert Spira the other day, and his question was, who is it that cares? You know? So like Lonnie was talking about, you know, retaking her sovereignty, and Richard is talking about, you know, whatever, we just make a mistake, we move on. And yes, yes, yes. And who is the one that cares about any of this? You know, so
Such a
delicious.
direct
Thank you.
pointer, Rana. It's such a direct pointer. When you ask yourself that question, you can't escape from knowing that it's almost always the egoic self. It's such a good pointer. Oh my, and it's a gentle pointer too. It's just a question. It's not a condemnation. It's an inquiry, right? Yeah. Patricia, you're up.
Thank you. I was just thinking about this luncheon date I have today. If I'm really myself, I would say, will you stop being so judgmental? But then I'm being judgmental. So,
Oh, you know,
so
okay.
it's like reflection, you know, I got to take a look at myself. Maybe she's giving me a gift by her judgmental so I can recognize it in myself.
I think that you've got some people that want to respond to you. I
Yes.
would like to hear what Lonnie has to say.
Yeah. I would too.
It's that invitation that the divine often makes. And in that invitation, it's will you feed fear or will you feed love when you stand
Uh-huh.
before her? Regardless
So,
of what she is putting out, regardless of what someone can stand in my face and scream, you dirty bitch, I hate you. And all that tells me is how much more love I need to put into them
mhm.
because that's the love I hold myself in.
So it's my response, how I respond. That's a
It's your
very good
choice
point.
in how you want to receive it and
Yeah,
the energy you want to put back out to her.
wonderful. Thank you.
Rana, you're up.
Yeah, here I am again. So this is how things began to heal with my mom, and you guys have watched all this. But the first pointing is when I go to meet her, do I have to drag all the memories I have of her and her identity with me? Or can I meet her in the moment as a brand new interaction in person that I
Yeah.
sort of don't know anything about? What
Yeah.
I started to do was like, she's just an old lady, right? If I remove the label of mom and all the things I expect that she's going to act like or say or do, can I walk into it fresh? So that would be my suggestion for going to lunch today, as if you don't even know this person. Thanks.
Yeah, I can't go wrong there. Boy, this is amazing. Richard and then William. Richard, you have to unmute, my dear.
What works for me is this is when I ask for guidance, and I ask for guidance in a way that says, "Help me to be my true self in this meeting," and help me trust in the fact that what I say or do at this meeting is exactly what I'm supposed to do and say. And then I forget it. And I trust in the process. and I let the day unfold as it will. If I piss off the other person or make a mistake, then I made a mistake. If normally it always goes very well. I walk away from the situation feeling it worked again. It worked again. So
Yeah.
that works for me.
That reminds me so much of the lesson, and I'm paraphrasing it here, but tell me where to go, tell me who to see, tell me what to say and when. And so always check in. Like, it's not Patricia who needs to worry about what she says. It's you, and I'm, this is my input. It may be that this person needs to hear that she always complains and that she's very judgmental. And it may be that you've been sent to be the one to tell her. And the question is, are you going to say it in a, as Lonnie suggested, in a loving way? Like, I just noticed that there's a lot of judgment going on here. And I wonder if there's something behind that. Would you be willing to explore that with me? Nothing wrong with that. That's loving. And it's also, my sense of it is that you're judging yourself before you open your mouth. You're judging yourself for being judgmental, right? And so I would let that one go. Love yourself. Like, you're noticing this. Love yourself. You're noticing it's being noticed for a reason, right?
And the fact is that you're being asked to view her in a new way, freshly. In Buddhism, they say die every day. Is you're being asked to view her brand new in this moment. You come to this moment brand new as well. You're not who you were 5 minutes ago.
Right. That's right. Oh my goodness. We'll want to report on this one, Patricia. I'm sorry that we have to wait till Monday.
And in the spirit of the guides, you can just do some reclaiming right before you go in, right? I know who you are in truth. I know who you serve in truth. Yeah, God is, God is, God is, right? I'm so excited about all this.
Yeah. Yeah. No spiritual bypassing here, right? William, you're up next.
Well, it's like what occurs to me is I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be aware. It's like I got two choices: who I'm not, who I'm not, who I'm not. I don't want to get lost in it. I just want to be. There's a very famous therapist who works miracles with couples. And the main question he asks, who is it I'm talking to? Who is this person I'm talking to? Is it just the scared little kid, the adaptive child? Or is it this person who really, really wants, who's coming from, I want love, I want more love? So who is it? At the same token, who is it that's speaking, looking, talking to him? Where am I coming from? And I don't want to figure that out. That's something that I find it kind of helping me give up. I don't want to change it, reframe it, do all that I've learned to do. Why don't I just, I'm not that, but who I am is, I'm just awareness. I'm here now. I love it. I'm just going to be as loving in this now, and whatever shows up will show up, like everybody keeps pointing at. But we all have such strategies for getting there. I don't even want to use a strategy. And this is a strategy I'm talking about right now. So forget everything I said.
I love this discussion. Wow. Thank you, Patricia. Before we move on, I want to say two words that jumped out at me, which were right in the beginning, which was, this is not the tortoise and the hare racing to the finish line. And so just to sort of piggyback on what Richard said, it's like you do the best you can and you don't punish yourself for it. I think every single thing that everyone here has said is spot on. Like, you're not going to know what to say until you get there, right? And don't worry about it, right? It's not a race. You don't have to get it right, right? I love that. So permission granted to, yeah. Thank you for that, Patricia. Yeah. Okay.
Can I just add one last thing? That feeling, I wouldn't want to change a thing that I just heard. Amy, whatever it is, I don't even remember what you said, but I have a feeling I wouldn't want to change a thing.
Okay. Thank you. Um, you ready to move on to the next paragraph? I think Olivia is going to read. Do you know where we are? Okay,
I do.
take it away.
Just to confirm, I'm on page 63 and the sage may have an answer.
That's right. Yep.
The sage may have an answer. The fool may know the right question to ask and never find what she seeks. Each of you says yes to what now lies before you, and the recompense for this agreement is a life that could not have been lived without your choice to align. When you speak to your knowing, that aspect of you who knows, you must be delivered from your expectations of what you should receive. Tell me what I want has an outcome attached to it, has an agenda for what is delivered to you. In humility, you become the question and the answer at once. And what this means is what you require to know is offered to you as you require to know it. When you understand this, in some ways, the days of seeking are replaced with reception. To be in receipt of the divine and the anchor of the divine in knowing is to be in faith, or at least awareness of the ideal of the divine that can be expressed in knowing through an aspect of you that can be in receipt to it. You want this to be what you want, so you may lay claim to the answer. And the answer of the day is a very simple one. It will be so. The manifestation of the divine called into being by nature of this agreement. It will be so serves as a translation from one idea of expression to another.
It will be so, kind of reminds me of as you will. Right.
It also reminds me of Star Trek, but that's a whole nother.
Make it so. Okay. William.
I love the phrase, thy will be done.
Yep. Thy will be done.
Anybody else? Do I keep on reading or?
I'd say keep going.
All righty. Paul is seeing the image of a record as would play on a turntable. You turn the record over. Other songs are available. It's the same record, but other songs are available on the second side. In some ways, what you are doing here is transforming an idea of what should be to what is only true. And what you sing or what you are playing is the recognition of the divine that can and will know through you. Can you imagine for a moment what it must feel like to be in your knowing as your natural state, not something you strive to or for, but something that is present? Paul is seeing the image of a young man swimming in a brook. Once he is in the brook, he is knowing the brook. The brook surrounds him, becomes his environment, and he understands the rules of the brook, when to breathe, perhaps when to dive, how to navigate the current. To be in one's knowing is comparable to this. The young man in the brook is not saying, "What am I in?" His experience of the brook is now his teacher, and he knows what a brook is more than anyone who has ever painted a picture or written about a brook. His experience is what he is in his knowing. He is his experience. Woo! You know, when it says, can you imagine for a moment what it must feel like to be in your knowing as your natural state? Not something to strive to or for, but something that is present. That just really spoke to me because I never was good enough, and was the big message that I got. And so I was constantly looking, and I still find that. I mean, this is the first time I've lived alone since 2010, and I had such an identity as a caretaker during that time. And now removing any labels and learning to be with what is instead of being in fear of I should be knowing what to do, and just then I become a human doing instead of a human trusting. And that's what really has been, you know, kind of coming up for me is recognizing the story behind, you know, the stories are becoming clear rather than the body just being in defense mode all the time and ready. It's like more relaxing into the moment, trusting that I already know everything. I have everything I need right here, right now, in this moment. And it's just been such a gift and a wonderful opportunity. I love the opportunities that I get to trust and to be in that. And I love that I can be in in two places at one time, basically. I can be maybe fearful about something that I'm going to be doing and trusting at the same time. One doesn't have to counteract the other one. And so just wanted to share that. This is so, as my friend Rana would say, delicious. It tastes really good. It's like caramel.
Thank you, Livy. William and then Lonnie.
Well, I think I use people in what they say as like a picture frame. It helps my aging brain recall it. So whether I heard this from Lonnie or somebody else, that drop in the ocean, it's just a drop, but it's still part of the ocean. And so I look at the one for lesson 264. I am surrounded by the love of God. When I just let go and become that, and that's what I sense, that I've got a bunch of delightful picture frames. So being two, I'm not that and I am this. I'm not that, I am who I am. It is always like they're two somethings, and yet it's really just one, not two, one, not two. So it's all kind of a living paradox that just melts every which way.
Thank you. Thank you. Lonnie.
So I took Lisa Natoli's 40-day course. And I think it was around day 34. And it elongated for me because I was also on a 6-week road trip alone up the Eastern Coast. And so some days were 2 or 3 days long in her 40-day course. But the one day she asked us to do an exercise called, and then it was, what do you want? And I did it. I do everything as a written exercise. And the first thing that appeared on the page was, I want to save my house so that I can do this work and not have to worry about where I'm going to live. The second, third, fourth, and fifth page was about the work. Someplace in there was this realization of, holy shit, I just found what I've been looking for. Because the reason I was there in the 40-day walk was because no matter how much I agreed to walk this walk of surrender and to allow myself to be led, I still kept getting this itchy thing at my back, like something's not right, something doesn't feel right, something must be wrong. And I realized in that writing, here I am showing up to do the work, to work on myself, but what's coming out of here. And the minute that I realized it, remember those old things of pictures where you could turn it and see the progression of the picture? I got that image of all the times in the last year that as I talked about what it was spiritually I wanted to do, it started with save my house. And I was like, oh shit, I've been pointing it to the wrong place when in fact, this is where it needed to be pointed. The minute that perception shifted, the minute the focus was no longer saving this material thing, but went all into how I had been showing up, everything else shifted too.
Mhm.
It's like it was just waiting for me to wake up and realize, chick, you're saying this is what you want to save, but look at the work you're doing. It changed even how I heard in the silence what was coming to me, because there was no longer this thing. It was this fear that kept showing up of, but what about keeping the house? But what about keeping the house?
Like
This
the house that was kind of a metaphor for your own inner house.
Yeah, well, this morning as I was brushing my teeth to get ready for this meeting, I was asking inside about that. And it was like, well, you were afraid you would be homeless. And then came, but you're never homeless.
Yep. That's lovely. Good. That's really good.
Wow, wow, wow. That's wow.
That's really good. I got woken up this morning, as happens infrequently, but enough that it makes a difference for me, by a snoring husband, and couldn't go back to sleep. And so as I usually do, I lie in bed and I do a meditation, and I go right into the core of my being. And I do that through the breath. That's my entryway. And I heard William's voice about reminding me to stay present in the now, in the moment. And I was not really not openly asking what am I or who am I, but I was looking for Lonnie's center. We talked last night about the center of the circle and how Lonnie reminds us of that. I love the way we're all such great teachers. So what came to me in that meditation in the moment was the certainty that I am. The absolute, unequivocal, wordless, nameless certainty of being. And then what came to me was that's what God is. God is not a father or a mother or anything like that. God is certainty. And so I just wanted to share that this morning. It's the certainty of love, it's the certainty of being, it's the certainty of the eternal nature, but it is that absolute knowing. And it's available to each one of us. But this world, just, the more we do it, the deeper the path, the wider the path that we wear to the present moment, that we wear through time to living in the present moment, being in the present moment, being receptive, as he says here, being in that moment of being the teacher and the learner at the same time, being open at the same time, receiving and doing at the same time. It's that the edge of the knife. Francis Lucille calls us, it's the knife edge right there. And so I just wanted to share that. Going through your day, living in the present moment as much as possible, living in not knowing, just being open and witnessing whatever arises in the present moment, now and now and now and now. That is the gift right there.
I've had this internal chant that's been going on for probably 2 weeks now. I am nothing. I am no one. And yet I am all. I am all. I am all.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me go on. Patricia, you're up.
Thank you. Oh, Bonnie, I want to say thank you. I have had this deep wish, and I keep praying for it. Kept praying for it, to find the exact right place to live and where to live. And you have just reminded me that that is right here. Acceptance is right here. That's the right place to live. And the circumstances, I have a roof over my head, I have food in the refrigerator. It's all good right now. So thank you. This is my home. Thank you.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, all right. Patricia, you're up next to read. And I forget where we are. Are we on?
Page 64 at the bottom, now to know God at this level.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, to know God at this level, this immersion, to know God as the brook, is to redefine the expectation that God is somewhere other. If you just sat for a moment and thought of God as the brook and let the brook carry you, you would be discovering the ease with which the current will take you. But we take you a step further. We wish you to become as the brook, which is porous to the brook, so that you may have a sense of form or identity while in the brook, being carried by the brook, and almost breathing and seeing as the brook. This is a small leap, but again, a great one. The transition is not in your imagination. We suppose that any of you with force of will could summon an idea of what it feels like to be in a brook, and then call the brook God. Beautiful. But again, this is a teaching of reception and realization. And permission is what is granted by the self who aligns at this level. I am choosing to know God in all ways. Underline, all ways. Not the God of high, not the God of earth, not the man on the cross, or the one beneath the Bodhi tree. You align to God as all things, wherein all things are your teacher, because all things are understood as God in expression. Oof, powerful. Thank you for letting me read.
Thank you. Freedom, 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 freedom. Right. Livy, you're up. Wow.
No, just you align to God as all things, wherein all things are your teacher, because all things are understood as God in expression. And oh boy, do I get the gift of that living with 4 cats. And they each, just like us, they have their each unique expression. And I learn so much from these cats about love, about the ability to adapt, just the unconditional love part of it is just really overwhelming. And my doctor, my primary care said, oh, so you actually commune with your cats. They're not just in the background, and they're my family. And I remember when I retired from Wells Fargo, and they actually put in the write-up, and so that she can spend more time with her beloved cats, Morpheus and Niobe. And so I love learning from all the different expressions, especially in nature. Oh my goodness, there's so much that the animal and plant and river and everything expressions teach us just by being present, just being in the now, just being in the now with everything as it is. And I just absolutely love that. Just absolutely love that. We learn from everything. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you,
And
Liz.
and I'd like to be one of your cats now instead of the hare. And my thought is that just allow some of these readings sit and percolate inside. And so I just almost found myself resisting listening to somebody read the next paragraph and then the next one. Can we just, wow, maybe slow down a little bit? But then I see that's just, I'm getting in the way again. So it's okay, whatever.
Well, I appreciate that, William, because what this is saying is God is immersive,
Mhm.
absolutely immersive. There is nothing that is not God. Absolutely no thought, no expression, no emotion, nothing.
If while I'm waiting, I'd rather be that nice cat just oozing.
And do I hear William saying that while I'm in the river at this point, I just want to stay here at this place at this point for now? Can we just hang out here in the river where we are before we learn more about the river? Can I get fully immersed and feel it all and really enjoy it before we move on and tell me what I'm doing?
That's exactly right.
The splash of the wave doesn't even get to dry.
That's right. That's good. Well, we could stop here, or we could sit in silence.
I really needed this group today
Yeah.
because I'm going into a weekend of some things that I would have said I didn't necessarily want to do, but that I'm doing anyway. And now I really want to do it because I'm excited about standing in presence and excited to see what'll come up for this being as it does. So thank you.
I know exactly what you're saying, Lonnie, and I see Patricia knows what you're saying, and Livy does, and William does, and Rick does. It is amazing when you are certain, you're willing to be immersed, how much love there is there. You know?
Charlotte Joko Beck said in one of her earlier books, she said, there'll come a day when you'll see the smoke of trouble coming at the pass. And instead of running in the other direction or trying to shield yourself from it, you'll open your arms and walk right in and say, here I am, and stand in it joyously. So, Charlotte, there it is.
And I love how those little pictures of that big little book that they stopped, and there I was as you were flipping it by. Yes.
All right, we got 10 minutes. I'm going to ask, Rick, I'm going to ask if you read next, but Patricia has something to say. Go for it.
I am just very grateful for this group today. It's like this reminder, this continual reminder, because it's about practice. We have to practice. And how open and loving people have been today to me, to acceptance, just to the joy of being in presence. So thank you all.
Can I just offer one thing around that though, too? At least where it comes from me. The only way I can be only open and accepting to you is to love me as much as I possibly do. I've lost friends because I will make a statement. It's okay if you don't love me. I love me. I love me so much until I don't give a damn if you don't. And so a lot of that is because I think so much of us are engaged in recognizing the love that we literally exist to be as. And we get to give that as we recognize it, it kind of oozes out the pores.
Yeah. What has grown for me in this group and my gratitude for it is I feel like we can pretty much say whatever we need to say. And there's so much trust in the goodness of the whoever is saying what they need to say that we know, as Rana has, that there's really no one, there's no personal person here, right? It's all just the one. And so who's taking something personally? We know that on this level. And so there's so much bullshit that we just don't even have to wade through, right? We don't have to think about what we're saying. We don't have to protect anybody because each one of us knows that the other can take care of themselves, which frees us up to be authentic. And that authenticity just grows and grows. It's exponential in the whole thing.
The authenticity of each of us, and just to allow to be honest in this group is such a joyful gift.
It is.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I guess one of the things I really like is I don't have to be such a policeman of it, whether I use I or me, or I just let whatever shows up, shows up. I love that. I don't really give a damn. I don't need to know what you think. I'm too caught up in this ocean. It's so nice.
Mm. Livy, did you have your hand up?
I did, and I thought since Cindy wasn't here, I could get away with lowering it.
Oh, she's trained us too well.
She has, yes, she has. No, I was just gonna, with letting go of the caretaker label and identity in my family, and I'm learning, and it's such a gift to allow. And I hate using the word allow because it sounds like, I have this power and I will allow, that's not what, y'all know that, but that I can be with someone where they're at instead of the need to control, to make it different so that I feel better.
There you go.
And just the things that are possible that I never realized really before, that it's yes and it's not a yes but, everything is yes and to be able to meet, and I've said this before, but it just blows my mind because it's such a new experience for me, but to meet people where they're at with love instead of meeting them with resentment for not doing what I think they should be doing, because I sure don't know. It's not for me to speak on this. And so that's been, it just makes everything, when I'm reminded that everything is source and everything is from source, it just helps. That helps immensely. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you. Patricia.
I'll make this quick. I know we're running out of time. William, I just love how you turned the brook into the ocean. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. And Dago, nice to see you.
It's so great to be here with all of you. I just woke up and I'm just so happy to be here and to know this love that y'all are. It's just such a blessing. So thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you too. And now Rick is going to close us out with the final reading. And if we go a little bit over, that's okay too.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right. Well, I'm blessed to be here with you all. I love this.
thank you.
And now again, Paul asks the obvious, but what of the criminal in the heinous act of our horrible war, of the horrible war? How do I see God there? Through any claim you wish, because because where you say God cannot be, you deny God and align to that level of abandonment. Behold, I make all things new. A claim of realization wherein the divine receives the divine or reclaims what it encounters, and the majesty of the claim, God is, God is, God is, which refutes this denial by the action of the presence of God in the purposeful and definite way. Define it. Way would be ways to approach what you perceive that could not be of God. But the temptation then has been to fix things, to say these things don't have a right to be, which would be false. Everything that is in any form has chosen to express at this level of vibration or consciousness. To receive the murderer as of God is in fact to redeem the murderer or reclaim the murderer in his true divine inheritance. To lock the murderer up for the safety of the town may be an act you choose, but it will not support realization. All it does is affirm separation. And until you reunite one and all with the aspect of self that would seek to kill another, you would outpicture it as a culture ad infinitum. In other words, what you seek to repress or ignore will replicate, because the action of fear to reclaim more fear is what you encounter when you seek to deny.
Whoa, that was a lot.
Woo!
That was a lot.
That just to jump in after that, when I really understood what, be the change you want to see actually entails. And if I want to, and everything this is where I feel the separation. And at the same time, to recognize that if I want to be the change I want to see, and I want to be inclusive because we are all that, then that means to be inclusive. And so this is This is good stuff. I'm really glad that he addresses this, or the guides address this.
Yeah, I mean, what Rick just said, what you resist persists. That I've never really heard it explained the way the guides just did, where if you resist the murderer, then murder will persist. That's pretty, that's a very advanced teaching, I would say.
And it's a
And-
part of that, what you damn yourself by with what you damn. It's
Yeah.
a part of that too.
Yeah. Interesting. Richard, you're up next. And then
I'd like to recommend we begin next week by reading this paragraph.
Yes.
As a start.
okay.
Yes.
I think it's going to cause a lot of discussion.
You know, that's a really good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. And I agree. Thank you for that. Thank you.
I'll be
Okay.
traveling next week when we're having this, but I will be on screen with you. I may not be in book, but
Right.
I will be on screen.
All right. We will look forward to that. And Dago, what you got? You're up next.
I just love that where you welcome everything. Everything is welcome, and whatever it is, we don't need to understand it. We don't need to like it. It is here for us, and just to welcome everything and bring it in your arms, and yeah. So I love that. Bring it all in. Everything is here for us. Everything is God. Everything is love. There's nothing else.
I like rereading those words of Paul Selig. The action of fear is to claim more fear. Every choice we make in fear will give us more of the same.
Yep. Wow, we have just come full circle in this discussion. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Livy for being our host. She's hosted several meetings this week and she really stepped up to the plate and appreciate that. Thank you all for reading and we'll see you on Monday. Yeah, see you on Monday.